Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Dhruv. How are you doing?
I am doing good. What about you?
I am good as well. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes for the participants to join in. Maybe we can start by 4:10 something. 4:05.
Yeah, sure. Any idea how many people have registered overall?
We have 100 plus registrations, I guess. So we are quite hoping for some good numbers.
That's great. ठीक है.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm good to go. Let me know whenever.
Yeah, sure.
ठीक है.
Okay, start, Sarah. Okay.
Dhruv, can you tell everyone as to when are we starting? That will be great because then people who are joining will have an understanding.
Yeah.
Keep
Told
him that we'll wait for like a couple of minutes, like by 4:10, maybe 4:05, 4:07, we may start with the session.
Okay, if anyone wants to join right now without registration, should I share the link to him? One of
Yeah, sure, sir, you can.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I guess we'll just start the session within 2 minutes, like after 2, 3 minutes. So I would like you all to wait just for a couple of minutes and we'll be good to go with the session. For the people who are asking how long is the session will be like 40 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes for the speaker, and then you can all ask your questions, if any, at the end of the session for say 15 to 20 minutes. So, approx in on all, this will be a 1 hour long session, and I hope it's quite interactive for you and quite helpful for you as well. I guess we should start the session, and we'll like wait for the people. Not wait. We'll continue the session, and people will come and join us in the session as we carry it on. So, hi everyone. Good evening. This is a weekend. Today is Saturday, and to make it more beautiful, we have a beautiful session for you all planned here, provided by Lawsuit. So, this Lawsuit actually is a startup based in Bangalore, and it focuses on how you can calculate your carbon footprint, and not only calculate but also offset that particular carbon footprint that you emit. So, it's quite a new thing that is around the market, that Lawsuit has actually brought up with its own carbon calculator. You can actually go to the website lawsuit.com. It will be put in the chat below, and you can visit the website and you can calculate your own carbon footprint. Not less, but you can also offset that carbon. We help you do so in less than a monthly subscription of Netflix. Isn't that good? So yeah, it's not about the startup, but also we have launched our own fellowship program. It's actually a community of investors. It's a community of startup enthusiasts, environmentalists, students, and ecosystem entrepreneurs, and many more. It's actually an ecosystem for a particular sustainability industry to develop. So I like you all to join our Discord community for the same. And to not make you waiting for the session, let's start. So hi Lokesh, great to have you. So let me just give you a small, intro about Lokesh. So this is Lokesh Samwani. Today's topic is going to be social entrepreneurship, the plastic problem, and refill revolution. So Mr. Lokesh is founder of Referrals, which is a startup that has demonstrated history of working the renewables and environment industry. Our speaker and his friends prevented over 10 million of single-use disposables from entering landfills in just 3 months. That's actually really great. And we would like to help you further by becoming a part of the same drive you are a part of. And he's actually working to bring the refill revolution to India by making sustainability accessible and affordable to all. So we are really great to have you, Lokesh, and I guess the platform is all yours. I'll hand over the stage to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Dhruv. Thank you for the introduction. And again, thank you to the Lawsuit community for organizing this. I am happy to be a part of a speaker today. And what Lawsuit is doing overall is amazing. I would request each and every one of you all to check the entire website out. I think they have fantastic services to offer. And yeah, thank you for organizing this session. To all the people, all the listeners, or the entire audience, my name is Lokesh Samwani. I'm one of the co-founders of Referrals. This is not going to be like your regular speaker session. I would like it's more about personal, my entire journey of not coming from a very plastic background to what we are trying to create and how have we reached over here. So if you all have any questions, do drop in the chat box. People are going to keep joining. Dhruv, I request you just to write on the chat box. And if anyone has any question, just write it down over there. And at the end of the call, we could probably link back over there at the end of it. So yes, so as I mentioned, this is not going to be like a regular speaker session. I'm here to tell you a story which made me believe that we can change the world, and I hope it makes you believe.
Actually, you are muted. Sorry to interrupt you, but you're muted.
Oh, no worries. Did none of you hear whatever I said?
We missed the later end. Like after introducing yourself, we missed you out.
Oh, okay. Regardless, I was just thanking the low shoot community through overall, and yeah, check them out. They're doing really interesting stuff. And talking about my session, it's not like a regular speaker session. What I'm here to say, I'm here to tell you a story which made me believe that we can change the world, and I hope it makes you believe too. A story of how our life panned out, or rather, life pans out when you don't know what needs to be done and takes its own course. So let me just take you back to how it all started. Where we were kids, say 20, 21-year olds who have just come out of college. Backstory, we had just adopted 5 villages in Maharashtra, helped them with skill development, water facilities, built solar electricity for them, to an extent of actually helping them with seed money to create their own business models. These are the people who stay in the drought affected villages of Maharashtra. So we've done that all an entire college journey, not really attended college, not really good with academics, and just figuring out what needs to be done with life. To be honest, I didn't know what's gonna happen after I graduated. One fine day, my friend Purav calls me randomly and says he has a business idea, and why don't Rahul, my college senior, and I get together to discuss it. So one of these days, like we were kids, we used to play football, we used to play a lot of sports and everything. We did that. We got together. He had stumbled upon a few drinkware items which probably we could sell as a side gig to get in some extra bucks while we were figuring out life. We thought that why not? Let's get into it. Looks like an interesting opportunity. Let's see how it goes. What's that for us to lose? We are 20 years old. So we did that. We met the manufacturer, got in the cost. Thought that okay, insane. Let's try selling it out to the clients. What's better than that? We called, went for a couple of meetings, realized it does not work. Okay, okay, we tried it, not did not happen. Let's try something else. The manufacturer at that point of time suggested a new product for us to experiment in the market, and the way like we like to say that the rest is history for us. So that one product, what the manufacturer offered, really changed our life for good and bad. I'll tell you why the bad later on, but the story comes out of man that like from a side gig, it slowly started to become a regular occurrence of meeting every single day, to at each other's houses, cold calling clients, making it a full blown project, even without realizing what we're trying to do. Or in our head at that time, we have a product which we need to sell it to restaurants. That's all we knew about it. We are 20-year old. We don't think much. We don't think far beyond that what's going to happen tomorrow or day after. We were not that smart, as I mentioned earlier itself. So that's what we were doing. And luckily for us, India had banned single-use plastics at that point of time. This is the second half of 2018 when our Prime Minister had an entire Abhiyan and said that it's going to be phased out in a couple of months, pan India. So we saw an opportunity coming on at that. I won't deny that. So we presented in a map. And luckily for us, that our product, even though it was made from plastic, was permitted because it was reusable and recyclable. Still, we have no context of what plastic is good, which material to be used, what needs to be done. But the people who we are, we have that research kira in us. Basically, if you like something, we'll go deep dive, delve into it, understand what it is. For 6 months, we only did that. We used to get up, research, cold call customers, take feedback before sleeping, research again, make a plan of action for the next day. Because we are right out of call, we have nothing to do. That's exactly what we did for good 6 months to understand that why was our product allowed and not anything else? Why is our product better than the market? What's happening over there? And to tell you, our product's actually a reusable cup made of plastic. That's about it. That's nothing else. So little did we realize at that point of time that what we were trying to do was suggesting an entire shift in our system from a linear economy to a circular economy. We realized it much later. So I remember distinctly that in the month of December, we stumbled upon Globlet as a company operating in Australia. So they were doing the exact same thing. They were, but for only for events. So we looked at each other and we asked that why aren't we doing this? If why are we running behind restaurants where events can be a very good market for us? We just need to remove the lid and yeah, here is a new thing. So this is around 22nd or 23rd of December in 2018. We looked at each other, made in a few calls, got in a few meetings, and without any prior experience about the problem, about what we are doing, we locked in two events of 5,000 people in each of them in the in a concept which we hadn't even tried in India. We made them believe that. So we thought that okay, probably we are good salespeople. We are on the right track that we can sell stuff to people and something can be worked out. So our pitch was really, really simple. At that point of time, even we didn't know that what we are trying to do. So for you to tell you that even you all might just be confused at what capable is, what is this guy talking about? Believe me, that was the context. None of us knew what we were trying to do at that point of time. So yeah, our pitch was really, really simple. We used to tell the clients, you are paying a humongous amount for alcohol, plastic, paper cups at your festival, which you don't even like. It's like really flimsy. You know, the customer likes it, you don't like it, the sponsor doesn't like it. Why not pay something more, like a bit more premium, which is environmental friendly? The reason why it was environment friendly because it was reusable. That was the basic concept. We did not even know if at the end they're going to be recycled or no. That came much later on. So yeah, we went to the event. Before going to the event, we thought that why not tie up the recycler in advance? Got in the cups, gave it to all the bars. At the end of the event, our thing was very simple. The waste management company will collect it and recycle. After 12 on 12 or 13 Jan, we realized that we had recycled over 70% of the cups used in the first project itself. And that was the day we decided that this is it. Capable was literally born that day after our first gig, after our first project. Capable was born that day. So it started off as a company that sells eco-friendly cups. Just remember this line. So, as I mentioned, we were researching. We were really we're not nerds, but if we like something, we'll go to the depth of it to understand what happens really. So we realized that while recycling is good, it's good that we're boosting the normal norms of it, but reusing was better. So why not offer the same service to the client? Why can't we, if our cup is reusable, why can't we actually create a system which can, one second, hold on, sorry. Hello, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, that's where was I? So while we realized that recycling was good, reusing can be better. So why not handle the same reuse and reverse logistics for these events guy as well? So we had nothing for us to lose. Our next pitch to a next event company was that we'll make your festival zero waste. We don't even know what zero waste at this point of time entails. We thought that we'll make you zero waste by handling all operations. We had no idea what we signed up for. We cracked a deal with this festival called Tap Craft Beer Festival. We told them it's our first time, but we'll do it. So what we ended up doing was that we told them that you have 10 odd festivals in a year. You end up procuring 1 lakh cups. Just take 10,000 of our cups. We'll print it on your particular thing and we'll ensure that we reuse it for 10 of your events and still make it cheaper on a holistic level. So these guys were excited that how will these 20, 21-year-olds literally happen to do this? And we did it with no experience. We were on ground at the festival without knowing what goes behind the festival. We put 15 workers on ground to collect all the glasses from bars, from dustbins, from deposit stations, take it back behind the bar, wash it on site, give it back to the bars itself, restock them. And believe me, when the audience is drunk, they don't like to be pissed or keep waiting for the drink. So it needs to happen. It needed to happen on at speed. Luckily for us, it was a hit, and that's where it took us. So from being just an eco-friendly cup selling company, in the month of February, we evolved to a reusable system company. So every month we are upskilling ourselves. We are getting more and more knowledge about what we are trying to do and what the problem is. Yeah, and that's what we did. Every month on month basis, we used to come up with ways to improve our service, make it convenient and more sustainable for users at the same time while being economical. So in 2019 itself, we ended up doing like 50 odd events and worked with additional 100 brands or so in our first year of operations, generating about 5 crores in revenue and eliminating like 1 million single use cups from entering the landfill. And get this, we're bootstrapped. We haven't done anything. So when people talk about that product market fit, how does a company reach a particular phase? It was brilliant for us because being a bootstrap company, we got the response from day one itself, the thing what we needed. So we were really in a good spot. But all of these things are what creates the jazz around your brand. But what really made us realize that we are on a gold mine or what we're trying to do, like something which really validated our idea, was one customer who used our product and service at an event in June 2019 came back to us in December 2019 at a different festival with the same product which they had purchased 6 months ago, having used it for 250 times and telling us that, hey, we are a fan of your brand. This is what we are trying to do. Believe me, that was the happiest day of my life till date. So that made us believe, so we're not the only crazy ones who believe in this concept that probably reusing is better than single use. At that point of time, we used to question, how have people not realized this? If it's so convenient, if it's so eco-friendly, why had more people be doing this? We were crazy. So on month basis, as I said, from Jan to Feb, we differed. In March, we launched water. In April, we launched cutlery, deposits, value. Our value proposition used to change with every client month on month basis, and it was a funny time. But that's how we learned. We learned it the hard. We learned it the way where we were enjoying ourselves. So we learned about the problem, about the solution, the way forward, only and only by just executing whatever we could. And probably we used to generate more waste than we realized at that time. But I'm glad we did because we realized what are the steps which need to be taken to de-risk our value proposition. I'll come to this a bit later in the journey itself. So yeah, before COVID hit us, we were at an all-time high. There was no weekend where we were not traveling to an extent that we actually hired an intern team which used to go to Delhi, Bangalore, Pune on our behalf while we were servicing other clients. So we were completely packed. And of course, then came the disaster. Of course, we cannot use the same systems now. It sounds so obsolete because we could not offer the same assurance or quality that if I am washing it, are there any gone? There going to be any residues from the previous transaction? Maybe I can offer that, but was I confident enough because someone's life is at stake? We stopped it. We shut that wing entirely. It was a hard decision to take when you've been at an all-time high, or what, 21, 22 at this point of time. It's been a year and a half maximum since we've been doing this. We took that hard call, said that we cannot do this. It's lockdown, it's COVID, this pandemic is something more serious. Nothing can be more important than our lives. So we shut the entire wing down. Don't get me wrong, we still sell cups collected for recycling, but we have toned it down a lot over the past 20 odd months. So that wasn't the end of it. Well, when pandemic hit us in early 2020, we were still as enthusiastic as ever. In lockdown, while everyone was literally binge watching a lot of shows, creating everything, we were busy creating an extensive plans of what needs to be done and how can we get the reuse and refill revolution back. So we were always flirting with the idea of reuse and refill in the FMCG space, but now we had an opportunity to put in our time resources. While we were so busy with doing different things in 2019, we could not explore our growth opportunity. We were at a stage where we had successfully done something, so we had some kind of validation about our idea. So we had a lot of confidence in our concept. So why not work on it? We realized it. So the problem, the idea came up for refill revolution in a manner that our parents, our families were guilty of purchasing products in bulk during time of lockdown because there was so much uncertainty. And we thought to ourselves that we essentially need the product and not the packaging. Why are we purchasing more and more plastic items just to use that product? There has to be a better way. And brainstorming in a manner, we thought that yes, there has to be. We'll figure something out. So yeah, we launched Refillable to the world on June 5th, 2020. But let me be honest with you, we did not gain momentum till May 2021. 11 months. 11 months it took us to create a system. We thought that, so when people ask us at this point of time, when they are launch it, we say May 2021. But to be honest to all of you all, it was June 5th, 2020. It took us 11 months to build a model, to test with users, to build a brand. We launched it without knowing what it takes. We had never been in a B2C industry, even though we had a good background, but we had never worked the hard way. We had no idea, we had no consumer response. So, sorry, for the ones who don't know, Refillable is zero waste refill service. We help brands become zero waste and offer conscious consumers a better choice. We have created a refill truck which comes up to your doorstep, refills in your old packaging itself. Imagine like a vending machine retrofitted in a truck. So that's our concept currently. So yeah, coming back to our story. For 11 months, we worked on refillable without the premise of the core premise of a truck. It took us 11 months to build it. We tell people that yeah, it just took us a couple of months, but the real story is that for 11 months we were figuring it out: which vehicle to be used, what machine to be used, which engineer to hire, which XYZ number of things. So imagine this: we used to get 10 orders a month. That's about it. Our revenues were barely 4,000 rupees at that time. So imagine the drop. On 1 month, 6 months ago, you are on a 45 lakh rupee monthly revenue to not even 4,000 rupees. It's been like a crazy journey for us, completely different, but crazy. And while we were launching the truck in May 2021, believe me, but me and my co-founders felt like proud parents to an extent that we literally used to go to each customer for 3 months, for 3 entire months. May, June, July, we were on ground. We used to take turns. We used to go, all three of us, we went together in the month of May. We realized we need a better system. We used to allocate days that on Mondays I'll go, Tuesdays I will go, Wednesdays Pura will go. We used to allocate days and we used to be on ground. Believe me, we did hardcore sales, actually understanding the issues of the customers, checking the user experience, and everything. We literally used to follow the truck in our car, so we were burning more petrol than just to check how the concept is working, how people are responding to it, because we were really apprehensive, because that's something the first time what we were doing in the D2C space. And believe me when I say this, that's actually what helped us the most: staying in touch with our customers, understanding from their perspectives, and improving daily. I'll be honest, customer referrals is the best thing a brand can get. A moment when a customer used to say that, hey, you have a fantastic concept, you're good. All you have to do is just be in touch with them and they will do the rest. So we are honest with you. Currently we've helped like 1,000 families shop consciously and the numbers are growing monthly. In a bad way, in a good way, we haven't done any kind of marketing. We don't we have zero paid marketing users. The reach is completely organic. The reason why I'm flaunting and saying it in a flaunting manner is because we have helped build this community only and only through the word of mouth, and that's because our customers are happy at this point of time. So yeah, as of now, we're only in Mumbai, but we plan to be in like 10 to 15 cities by the end of next year. We have this expansion growth plans, and things are really working out well for us. But looking back at it, at the entire journey, I have just a couple of things to share to you all what it's been. So one of the most important things what I like to share in this entire space is that be it social entrepreneurship, be it normal entrepreneurship, be it any idea what you all are flirting with, I'd like to say is that execute before you ideate. We take too much time to think that us as a community or people my age, we start procrastinating. We don't speak to customers. We think that this is the thing. We think this is the solution to a problem, and then we just go for it. Our point is we learned it the hard way. That imagine we launched the truck, even we launched the concept even without speaking to people. So we learned it the hard way. Believe me, that speaking to the consumers is the most important thing. We need to make actionable steps, get feedback, and change. So I'll be honest with you. Now, after realizing and speaking to customers, we've realized that people care about the refills, not how it's being delivered. So from a refill truck, we're pivoting to a refill bike, because why to pay extra for that truck if people don't care about it? So that's how we do it. So we've started believing that speak to the customers, start executing more and more things before you actually do something about it. So The reason why I'm not speaking about the plastic problem in detail is because I assume everyone, all of you all know about it. So just to give you a different perspective, why we are so obsessed with this plastic problem at this point of time is that imagine Singapore as a country had made a man-made island just to dispose their waste, which is also full at this point of time. So if things are going okay at this point of time, just wait for a couple of years and everything is going downwards. So I'm from Mumbai and we've been experiencing climate change. We've been experiencing rains in the month of December for the past 3 years. If this is not climate change, then what is? Yeah. Regardless, coming back. We have a simple motto, I'd like to say. The way we function at our end is to do better than what we were doing yesterday. It's it's pretty simple. Every morning I get up and ask, okay, what did I accomplish yesterday? How can I better it today? And that's how we will grow as people. But more importantly, the entire Discord community of Lawsuit, I would like to say that to create a solution, whatever you all are doing, maybe you all are consuming plastic, maybe you're not consuming plastic, whatever you're doing in your life, just try and upskill and better yourself every single day. To stay relevant, just to solve a particular problem, you have to do that. That's what you owe to the nature, owe to the environment at this point of time. And the most importantly, like when people look at our capable journey, they feel that we got it easy. Believe me, success is literally built on failures. Don't get me wrong, we struggled quite a bit. We started off with no office, moved to a watchman's cabin in an under construction site for over 6 months, and that's not easy to do. Like, we literally used to travel to go to a watchman's cabin just so that we could meet together and brainstorm. Then we moved to a 200 square feet office, and now finally we are in an industrial area. So, good things take time, and it's the more you fail, the better it is. We start believing the when I mentioned the entire concept is about de-risking your value proposition. I tried this, okay, this does not work. I know it. I tried this does not work. I know about it. So try doing things so that at least you know what does not work for you. You will find what will work for you eventually. But at least if you enter the market, you will understand that what does not work. And that's the most important thing at this point of time. I can get any aspiring entrepreneur or second time entrepreneur to believe in. This is what I personally look at, and that's the case. And lastly, if I had to just sum everything up in a nutshell, is that make quick decisions, and no decisions are right and wrong. Everyone has their own path or journey to follow. You can be right, you can be wrong, you can be anything. But what your actions define if your decision was right or wrong. So if we decided to pivot our company to a refillable, how I react with refillable, what kind of effort I put into refillable will make me realize if the decision from switching from couple to refillable was right or wrong. If I don't end up putting the effort, if I don't put in the end up action, it was the most pathetic decision of my life. I could have just sold cups and be done for it. Why did I have to go through the entire process? So it's about the action apart from the decision, what makes you believe that okay, this is possible, this is not possible. Otherwise, no decision in hindsight, anyone's gonna say that this is a wrong decision, this is a right decision, and I should work towards it. So yeah, it's been a really interesting journey for us, and from not knowing anything about the plastics industry in the past 2.5, 3 years to now knowing what works the best at what particular stage, right? Understanding which material is recycled where, how is the material generated, working on the most non-renewable to renewable resources of energy. We know it all. The reason we only know it now is because we love what we do. So yeah, those are my 2 cents of my journey of what we've been doing in the past 3 years. And believe me when I say this, we have really exciting times coming up for India in the next 1 year itself. A lot of pilots, a lot of projects to be launched really soon in different parts of the country. So yes, hopefully refill will be there in most of the cities by the end of next year, and we can figure it out. So yeah, if you'll have any questions, do let me know. The stage is open for any question if you want me to answer.
Yeah, I guess we have a couple of questions in the chat itself. So maybe I'll just read them out and you can answer it also.
Sure.
So we have first question. If the role of washing refills is not counted, how can we see you evolve else using hefty amount of water is a same problem in near future. So throw some light on this, sir, and your thoughts on water problems also.
If the role of washing refill is not counted, so we used to wash for cuppable, Mr. Darshan. So thanks for the question. Firstly, the entire washing concept was used so that you can use the same product once again. Of course, I understand that there's water crisis going in the entire country. Me more than ever because I've literally helped adopt villages in Maharashtra, so I know how drought affected people can get. So, mind me, we used to recycle a complete water. The entire facility was made in a manner that all the dirty water was distilled and again used for the same washing purposes. But talking about it, the entire washing concept evolved from a manner is because take a milkman model. In your when my parents used to purchase when they were kids, they used to get milk. They used to get milks in glass bottles. The bottles were then collected for being washed once again. That's the exact same concept what we were trying to follow at Capable. Unfortunately, we had to stop it due to COVID. But yes, we personally believe that that's the way forward. Water problem will there'll always be problems for you to solve, but you need to take a step forward to solve one problem and then grow on to another one. There is never going to be a perfect solution because if you keep waiting for the perfect solution, you will never be able to do things. So yes, I agree that there might have been water wastage, but we took a step towards shutting the bigger problem, and then we focused on okay recycling the water and other things as well. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Darshit. If you have a follow-up question, do let me know.
We have a question from Pratik. He says, "Is plastic pyrolysis a viable solution?"
So I'll be honest with you. A lot of tests are happening at this point of time, Pratik. So for me to say, I'm not a material scientist to say that if that chemical reaction is good, that chemical reaction is bad. For me, from a layman like you or the people who are listening to us, it's about using the most amount of renewable resources in a particular product. At the end of the day, plastic pyrolysis is again using a non-renewable resource, which is petrol. So plastic for everyone to layman is actually made from a non-renewable resource from your oils. Okay, at the end of the day. So I am talking about hindsight in the biggest, best possible scenario. Why don't we extract materials, make plastic? So let's say the cornstarch, which was widely used to be as the best alternative for plastic. Why don't we try and develop a resource which can be made from renewable resources of energy? So yes, plastic pyrolysis can, if it works out, can be a great solution, but that's still a halfway there, and that should be a step if, further taken. But talking from an overall perspective, we still need to work on how to reduce the non-renewable resource to create that particular material itself. So the times are exciting. Everyone's innovating to think about that. How can we create a material which does not exist in the world at this point of time? We are solving a problem that everyone has to think, brainstorm every single day. So there is no right or wrong. It is a step forward. So yes, I am on for the plastic pyrolysis process, but there are not enough conducive test results to say that that's the step better. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, we have Ashish asking if you have any presence in Pune. So even I wanted to know, like as he said earlier, also that they are expanding. They will be probably in 20 to 24 cities by the end of next year. That is next December, maybe 1 year after the session ends. So we're looking up for the same.
Yeah, 100%. So other personally, believe I'm saying as
So
the
if
entire
people
low suit
have
community.
any more,
Sorry, I think there was a lag. Yeah, to your
I
entire
have
low
a
suit.
question. Yeah.
no,
Uh,
sorry, there was some network. Yeah.
yeah, Sanskar, go for it.
Yeah. So about reusing plastics for making something else, I've heard about microplastics and like it's more harmful for the environment and for us as well. So what's your like what can you say about it? Like is microplastic not a really good thing? Because as much as I've read about microplastics, it's not going to work if we just ignore the microplastic parts, like how it's created while we reuse the plastic materials into making something else. So do you have anything on it?
So 100% Sanskar. So Sanskar, the most important thing I would like to say is that, of course, plastic as a material, number one. So a lot of people have this misconception. What I'd like to clarify: plastic as a material, it's the best, most efficient carbon neutral material. The amount of resources you will take to make an aluminum or a glass bottle, if I'm from a carbon footprint analysis, plastic has the least amount of resources used. But what causes the issue is how we dispose it off. The reason we are experiencing microplastics in our water that we drink, in the meat that we eat, in multiple number of things is because the way we've disposed it. Plastic as a material, if it was always being reused up till the most number of times, it's the most carbon efficient way. So yeah, talking about microplastics in particular, it's more about how we dispose things. I'm completely so let's say that to any of y'all who keep who order from Swiggy Zomato and get food delivery in those black plastic containers, I'd strongly recommend you to please remove your food immediately from that and give it to a recycler at that point of time, because if you keep reusing that plastic, if you बोलने के लिए reusable है, at the end of the day those things should not be reused for more than once or used for more than once also, because the plastic starts leaking into the food what we eat. So there are a lot of certification, a lot of reports onto it. I would urge you all to just read about it more in detail and use as minimum plastic as you can, because I can assure you that my products will not leak up to 150 uses. I can assure you that. But on the 151st use, things can go wrong. So similarly, when you all are using those items, I'd like you all to mind what's gonna happen and try to shift to better alternatives at all points of time. So that's my solution for it. But as a material, I would say that you can use plastic, because the more number of times you use plastic, say let's say a Bisleri water bottle, the more number of times you use it, the better it is. So overall, a PET bottle has a journey of about 20 odd washes. After that, you should literally recycle it. Otherwise, you will also start drinking plastic more often than not.
So is it the same about the normal plastic bottles that we buy from, suppose, from a convenience store to
Yeah.
keep bottles? Like, is it same for that, or should we opt for like thermoses or bronze bottles or other material bottles?
No. So it differs from the way you manufacture. So let's say that if you take a Tupperware bottle is literally been certified to be used up to 2,500 times. Or 2,500 times is basically, at least in our journey, more often than not, I have lost the bottle than use it to 2,500 times itself.
Okay.
But the point is that each product has a different life cycle of it. So a small single-use one will have a much lesser one, but a most reusable one can have up to 2,500, 3,000 refills as well. So that's what it is.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, I hope you all have got a lot of insights on what we were trying to build. The more importantly, I did not want to make it a entire plastic refill session. The reason, because it's a journey. It's what I have experienced it till date. I want to share my journey with you all, because that's what made us who I am. That's what made us who we are at this point of time. And for y'all to do anything in the climate tech space, it's important that y'all find your passion towards it. The only reason, if you're passionate, if you're willing to stay up to 3, 4 in the morning just to read and get your research hunger out in the market, then that's the thing you should pursue. So that's where we are at, to be honest.
Do I have a question?
So,
Sure.
yes, sir, you can. Sure.
My question to is this: how much this coding on the plastic material will help in segregation?
So that's a great question, Mr. Dalip. It helps a lot. So to be honest, there are for the ones who did not know, there are 7 different types of plastic materials currently being used. So if you sent in, I think he left the chat, but okay, for the ones who do not know, for any item to be segregated, the code needs to be there on it. Okay, so you cannot just send a PET material, a Bisleri bottle material in a PP segregating range. They will refuse to recycle it. So at the end of the day, they will also end up in a dustbin if we don't segregate it well enough. So yes, to answer this question, it's really, really important to identify what material is it made of and segregate it accordingly. Hello.
We
Mr.
have
Dalip, are you
him
here?
back, so can you just repeat the last part?
Sure. Mr. Dalip, it's really, really important to have to identify what material is it made of. So plastic has 7 different types of materials. For us to segregate, or any recycler to segregate, it's very important to know, because it should not mix with the recycling streams. The moment it mixes, the pellets, what actually end up coming out of it, they lose value of it because the manufacturer again will not be able to use it in the same particular manner. So it's we as a recycler, as a collector, it's very important to know which material is actually made of, so that they can recycle, segregate it, and recycle in that particular stream itself.
Second question is this: there are three R. How effective the three R is in the plastic recycle?
So it's really effective. So as I mentioned in my story itself, we started off what we essentially is reduce, reuse, and recycle. We started with recycling. Then we moved to a point that we actually promoted reusing products. And now we're at a point of time that we want to reduce the amount of non-renewable resources we use in a particular product. So the way forward, I would like to say that the three R's have been improvised and got repurposed and refills also onto it. So these are the five R's I'd like to say. So the most important step is when you reduce stuff, then you reuse products, then you refill, then you recycle, and then you repurpose items. So these are the five R's I would like to say. So anything in your life, so be it if you just because you use a glass bottle does not mean that you are climate conscious than someone who's using a plastic bottle. It does not mean that. It's on how you behave or how you consume things that actually reflects upon your entire journey as a customer itself, as a person itself, and how environmentally or a climate conscious person you are.
Why it is not punishable when we are littering the plastic in the public place?
So, because to be honest, we as a our country does not host that kind of infrastructure at this point of time. So when people say so that I'm putting it in the general dustbin, so ask yourself this question: that when you segregate your waste at your house, dry waste and wet waste, because now it's a mandate in Mumbai at least, we need to segregate it. When we give it off to the BMC, at the end of the day, they put in the same particular van. I've gone to the DNR grounds itself where all of these things are not being segregated and dumped together itself. So I'm not saying it's the issue of the government, but the overall infrastructure of the company is made in a particular manner that we cannot segregate everything at source. So we have to change how we consume things rather than figuring out how to collect, how to segregate it. So everyone needs to play an important role for the entire ecosystem to be built together and play an important role together.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lokesh. You have given the reply of my your query very nicely, and thank you to the low shoot also.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We have
Excuse me.
Uday asking, sir, can we have your mail ID? So let everyone know that they can follow Refillable on Instagram. Their link has been put in the chat also, and they can reach out to you as and when they find it necessary. And yeah, Vaibhav, you were asking a question.
So, as you said, now the garbage van throws all the waste at one place in dump. So, what can we do so that the mixture of the waste is at least 90% recyclable or biodegradable, and only 10% we can like take it out for other purposes. Like it shouldn't contain like toxic materials.
So, thanks, Evan. That's a fantastic question. So, the more you speak with direct recyclers or private recyclers, that makes the most amount of sense. So, let's say that in Mumbai, if you're based out of, so there's a Rati Connect, there's a Lucro who do these kind of recycling items. So, you can directly give it off to them so that it does not mix with different sources, different materials to create toxic waste. That's the essential point of the entire project at this point of time. So while I'll be honest with you, while we were at Leonard dumping ground itself, we saw individuals, these waste collectors, actually collecting plastic PET bottles. The reason why I spoke to them, we took a survey. That the reason why they were collecting it was because they actually have economic incentive value. On each plastic bottle, they give it back to a recycler. They get 50 paisa on it. So if I'm a waste picker, I'm gonna go to the landfill every day and collect 1,000 odd bottles just to earn that 500 rupees. So not like things are not being segregated at the dump yard. It's not just happening in a very formalized manner, if I had to say so. What you can do from your end is go for a more direct approach and to assure that you are definitely segregating and your materials are definitely being recycled.
Actually, you know that a lot of e-waste is segregated by naked hands, and that like the toxic materials can enter through their breathing, so it can cause a lot of problems. And these people are
100%.
not aware. That's why.
100%. 100%. 100%. I completely agree with you. And that's why so many more formal players are have now gotten into e-waste segregation and waste management. And that's why it's going on. So, yes, everyone's realized this issue and they've been trying to rectify it. At least the private players have been trying to rectify it and make it a much more better system.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have another question by just a moment. Yeah, we have Pratik's question asked that he actually wanted to if we can use plastic pyrolysis as a way to treat the plastic humanity has produced so far, or is there any other way to solve this problem in your opinion?
So at the end of the day, it's more about the way you use things. At the end of the day, plastic process is just a way to tackle the plastic problem. So as someone mentioned, as Sanskar mentioned, that microplastics go into it. Currently, there are no final test results or enough tests conducted that this is a parameter that no microplastics are being formed at this point of time. People have tried heating, people have tried crushing, people have tried various different methods of plastic pyrolysis, but there is no conducive result at this point of time for me to comment if this is better or of what's going to happen eventually. So let's wait on for that particular results. What I can say at this point of time is that the lesser material you use, the better you'll be able to consume things.
Okay. I guess Pratik, you are quite content with the answer Lokesh gave. We have another question by Saurabh. No, yeah, by Saurabh, who says that how can we avoid plastics because sometimes we use even we did not like it.
So, see, for it's about being mindful of your consumption. So, no one likes using plastic items, but at the end of the day, there is no solution to it. You have to use it at your end. So, you can try experiencing a zero waste journey. There are multiple blog posts written by multiple people. You can start by reusing your own bottle, and instead, whenever you go out, take your own bottle instead of purchasing a plastic bottle from outside, getting your own containers when you're doing takeaway deliveries, XYZ number of things. So you can start with a zero waste lifestyle. It's about taking small steps every single day, and that's how we'll be able to grow. There's a very nice line
Mhm.
what I've read so many times about. So there's this turtle which has a quote written saying that a person's drinking coffee with a straw or a milkshake with a straw. Just one person just disposes it and says that it's just one straw. I'll just dispose it like this only. And the turtle says the entire concept has been said by billion people. Now imagine if each person throws one straw every single day, what's going to happen? The amount of straws. So literally, there was a report which I read, which had 7 billion straws generated in one single year. 7 billion. So it's a huge number on its own, and it's about taking small steps every single day, even if you don't like it. Of course, there's no direct solution. So at the end of the day, if I have to take hypothetically my groceries, okay, the fresh vegetables for most of the times, if I'm taking from big basket or Godrej Nature's basket, they are gonna come in plastic liners. I cannot help it at this point of time. I need to consume things, but I will also ensure that I will give it to a recycler for it to be recycled. That's the step you need to take.
Yes,
Okay.
we are
We
talking
have a
about.
question from Krishna.
Dhruv,
Yeah.
just a moment, yeah. Really sorry, I'm interrupting again.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we're talking about the
No, no, no. It's
other thing, like any alternative to plastic, like when I was working a little bit with Dr. Irfan Khan, you know about him, Lokesh. He's the founder of eBike Go. So when I was working a little closely with him, I mean, I had this talk about cassava bags, how cassava bags can help us all, completely remove the plastic out of the picture. Like, what's your take on it? Like, can that actually be a solution?
So again, yeah, that can be a solution. To be honest, cassava bags are good, but what happens is that India does not have enough infrastructure to compose things. Let me be honest with you. Okay,
Yeah,
so when
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
yeah, so when people, so I'm not gonna call it greenwashing, but when people say this is compostable, this is biodegradable,
Mhm.
people do not mention under what conditions. Because if so, there's certain mention that it has to be pressed over 100 degrees. If it's not happening, it ends up in the landfill itself. So I have an issue with the way we consume more than what material are we being used at this point of time. So I don't mind cassava, I don't mind bagasse, I don't mind sugarcane, I don't mind
Mhm.
any of these resources, but we should be mindful of how we dispose these off items as well. So because of the lack of infrastructure in India at this point of time, I refrain from using these things.
Okay, like there are many nuances that are not kept into mind.
Exactly. So while the customer might just feel that I'm doing really a great job by using this compostable bag, at the end of it, sorry to burst the bubble, it may just end up in the landfill.
Yeah, that is true. Yes.
So
As
anyway,
as the
yeah.
me,
Sorry, Sanskar, you were saying something.
no, I was not saying anything. Like, have Dhruv left the meeting?
Oh, maybe he has. I'll just take the last question, and I think then we can wrap things up. So,
Yeah, sure.
Krishna Priya, talking about your question, is that EPR is a great mandate
Yeah,
started by the government.
sorry, I had some network issues.
No worries. So yeah, Krishna Priya, the EPR laws by the government are really great. Each company needs to recycle the amount of plastic they put up in the environment at all points of time. It's really good. But the reason, even if it's followed by a lot of companies, what I am not okay with, or probably we need to find a solution for the same, is that if I put up 100 kgs of plastic, I can recycle any 100 kgs to negate my impact. But that's not the case, right? If I'm a Unilever, I've put in these sachets which are really hard to find. So I was at a beach cleanup in the morning. I found the sachet from 2013 today. It's been 8 years. And it was on the beach, lying on the beach, not even degraded one single part of it. I've taken a picture of it. So the issue where I come from is that thanks to Bisleri, thanks to these PET bottles, it's really easy to recycle and reach up to your EPR count. The major issue comes when you come with a multi-layer packaging, those sachets, those layers packets, those FMCG good packet, those refill pouches, what we use, that cause the most amount of issues. And no one's liable to collect that because that does not weigh a lot. APR works on a weighing mechanism. If I put 100 kgs, I'll get 100 kgs. Like I need to recycle 100 kgs back. So I will only take the most heavy recyclable items rather than taking the lowest ones. So these sachets, these pouches always go under the radar, and that's when the thing starts creating a major issue. So I hope I've answered your question, Krishna Priya. Prateek and Webhub, we're going to be expanding really soon. We are actually at this point of time looking to hire a lot more people in. You could reach out to us on Instagram, and we can revert back with the links or how can you all apply to our community itself. So thank you so much, Dhruv. Thank you so much, Sanskar. Thank you so much, Losuit, for inviting me over. It was a great session. I hope I've tried to solve majority of your doubts to my knowledge at least, and just keep trying, keep refilling, and yes, we'll have a cleaner future someday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lokesh, for you. It was great. It was really great having you today. And it's a beautiful evening also. And we have an highlight that it's very well said. Insightful brother, like appreciate this and keep it up. Always looking for such kind of ecosystem. Hoping to see you in Gujarat soon by Darshit. And there's a really great response and feedback for your session. Thank you so much. So let me just repeat that we also have a Lawsuit Discord community. You all can come here and you can interact with like-minded people and contribute towards this beautiful, sustainable future that we are going to make. And here's a link for the same. You can also calculate your Lawsuit. You can also calculate your carbon footprint and also offset it as well. So you can visit our website on www.lawsuit.com. It will be really great to have you there also. And thank you so much for making our evening more valuable. Lokesh, thank you so much. We would like to see refillable growing every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Lovely being here. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Have a great time, everyone. Bye.